Tamerlane, a conqueror forged in ambition's fire. In a world of empires and shadowed hearts, he rises, driven by a vision of power. Through battles and betrayals, his legend grows. This is the tale of Tamerlane. In 1827, an unknown young writer named Edgar Allan Poe published his very first book. Hidden inside was Tamerlane, a haunting meditation on ambition, love, and irreversible regret. Before him lay an empire won through blood and fire. Kings had fallen, nations had bowed. Yet, standing above the world, Tamerlane discovered that conquest could never silence memory. Long before he became the terror of kingdoms, he was only a young man with simple dreams and a heart that had not yet chosen between love and glory. But beyond the quiet fields, another destiny was already calling. The promise of power whispered across the horizon, and ambition began to drown the voice of love. With that single choice, he abandoned the only life that might have brought him peace. The road before him promised immortal glory but demanded a price he could not yet imagine. Victory came swiftly. One fortress after another bowed before his command. The world began to remember his name while he quietly forgot the life he had left behind. Years became decades. Kingdom after kingdom surrendered before the unstoppable advance of Tamerlane. His empire reached farther than he had ever dreamed, yet the emptiness within him only continued to grow. To the world, he had become a living legend whose command shaped the destiny of nations. Yet in the silence between battles, a single forgotten keepsake carried more weight than every crown he had won. To the world, he had become a living legend whose command shaped the destiny of nations. Yet in the silence between battles, a single forgotten keepsake carried more weight than every crown he had won. The world offered him every treasure it possessed. Wealth, power, and absolute obedience surrounded his throne. Yet none could replace the quiet happiness he had abandoned long ago. Power had transformed the shepherd into an emperor, but not even an empire could silence the man he had once been. Memory remained the only kingdom beyond his command. At last, the conqueror returned not in triumph, but in search of the only victory he had never claimed. Time had spared the land, but not the lives that once gave it meaning. Those he had loved were gone. No army could reclaim the years, no emperor could command time itself. At last, Tamerlane understood the true cost of his ambition. He had crossed continents in search of greatness. Yet, at the end of his journey, the only kingdom he truly longed for existed only in memory. As his final days approached, neither victories nor crowns remained beside him. In the silence for death, only one memory still illuminated the darkness. Edgar Allan Poe reminds us that glory may conquer kingdoms, but love alone conquers the heart. Some victories are eternal, and some losses can never be undone. Only a handful of copies of Tamerlane and Other Poems are known to survive today. The little book, published by an unknown teenager, became one of the rarest and most valuable treasures in American literature, marking the extraordinary beginning of Edgar Allan Poe. Tamerlane, the mighty conqueror, surveys his domain. His army marches, the city awaits. Beside him, a woman and a man share a moment. The story ends as the curtains fall.